What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to do a comparison between Thor and Jane Foster to see which of these characters is actually stronger. Now, you guys might realize that my Thor is at level 80, but I went ahead and pre-recorded a video of level 70 Thor versus level 70 Jane Foster using pretty much the same team. However, I'm going to show you guys something a little different where we're going to be using Thor with White Fox. Thor actually benefits from having White Fox, whereas Jane Foster does not. So I'm actually going to be using Valkyrie instead of White Fox. Now, I know what you all are thinking. Well, that means that Thor is going to have a big advantage. That's true, but it's also going to show you guys, one, how strong Jane Foster is, and how the level 80 thing is really where the serious damage comes from Thor. Because I'm also going to show you guys what he can do at level 80 against Dormammu. We're just going to be doing a little comparison against Dormammu. Now, White Fox does offer some pretty insane buffs. I mean, she offers 65% increase to damage, whereas whereas Valkyrie offers 55%. So Thor's already getting 10% more damage to supervillains from the passive. Also, Thor does have his artifact, which actually does give him an extra 8% damage to supervillains. So not only is he getting the extra 10% from White Fox versus Valkyrie, he's also getting another 8% here, which is the equivalent of 23% extra damage to supervillains, right? So that's a pretty big difference in itself. The other thing about White Fox is that White Fox's uniform effect also gives the extra chain hit damage and the basic attack by 15% that's going to apply to Thor. So his energy attack stats are actually going to be higher than normal, right? It's actually going to be more than Jane Foster because of that, because my base Jane and my base Thor have pretty similar energy attack. Thor does have natively high energy attack than my Jane, but my Jane does have more Odin's blessings on her, right? She's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Odin's blessings, whereas my Thor only has 2 Odin's blessings, and then her energy attack Urus are at Mythic. So even though their energy attack is virtually the same, I mean, right now she's got almost 47,000 energy attack, having Valkyrie in the leadership, and we set the same leadership. For Thor, we have 51, almost 52,000 energy attack. But remember, this is at level 80. When he was at level 70, he was around where Jane was at. He actually had, I think it was like 45,500, something like that with Jane. So just a little bit less, but he still had the extra, 23% damage to supervillains from his artifact and the support from White Fox. Big difference. And as far as the details, guys, between these two, you can see that Thor, I mean, his ignore defense is close enough, guys. This isn't really going to make that big of a difference. His critical damage is pretty much maxed out. His critical rate is pretty much maxed out. And his dodge is a hair shy from max, but it's pretty damn close, right? It's pretty damn close as far as that is concerned. He does have a fully awakened Power Bring Rock set. And then, of course, the artifact. And we're going to be running a CTP of Rage. Now, these damage comparisons might vary if we was using, CTPs of Judgment. If we were using different obelisks, maybe it would be different. But Thor doesn't play very well with a proc. He's not exactly, I mean, you can play with a proc, but he's not exactly proc friendly due to the delay cancels with his skills. It doesn't work very well for him, guys. He also has a mythic uniform, and Jane also has a mythic uniform as well. She's rocking a CTP of Rage, so we got the same thing going on here. She's got a fully awakened Power Bring Rock set, and she doesn't have her artifact. If she had her artifact, whenever HP is above, I think 25%, she gets a damage buff, right? But she isn't even going to have that. So Thor really has all the advantages in the world in this comparison, right? And when you look at the details, her critical damage is at 180%. She actually has 20% less critical damage than Thor. Now, yeah, her dodge is maxed out. I mean, she's got, 3% more dodge than what Thor has, or 3.5%, and just barely more critical rate than him. So she really is at a disadvantage, guys, as far as, facing a Thor, because one, she doesn't have the same support passives. She doesn't have as much critical damage as him. He has way more energy attack because he also gets the 15% increase attack from White Fox, and Wave has a CTP of Insight, so you guys are going to see the CTP Insight procking, but it's going to proc for both these characters because we're using the exact same leadership here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up for you guys right now, and on the left side, guys, is Thor, and on the right side is Jane. And we're just going to do one little rotation. I'm going to show you the damage difference here. All right, we're just going to wait. Now, I want you guys to look at the damage difference already. You can see that Jane, even though she has a less support passive, she is doing quite a bit more damage, guys. Both of them have CTBs of Rage. She is doing, like almost 8 bars more than Thor in that first rotation. So that already tells you guys that she is stronger than him. And this is at base level 70, right? And again, his energy attack in this comparison was almost similar to hers. It was like 500 less than hers. And we're just going to do the very first phase to see what the difference actually is. And remember, guys, there's always little variables in here. I will say one thing about Thor versus Jane. His survivability is way better than hers. Man, she can die very, very easy against Dormammu if you're not careful. But I mean, yeah, she just pulls out ahead against him, and it's pretty crazy considering that again, she's using Valkyrie versus White Fox. She isn't getting that extra chain hit damage. She isn't getting the extra, damage from the artifact and the extra damage that White Fox has compared to Valkyrie. And yet she is still doing more damage than level 70 Thor. And this goes to show you guys what all of our suspicions were, right? I didn't test the previous uniforms that we had to see, how good they were at level 70 versus the other character that maybe got the tier 3. And this is something you can actually expect, maybe in the future with Hulk, right? More than likely, maybe they'll make She-Hulk stronger than Hulk at level 70. But then when he's level 80, he'll probably be stronger. And I'll show you guys the level 80 run against Dormammu just so you can see the difference, right? And we're just going to see how long it takes to do this first phase. So right there, guys, you can already see at 8:33 that Jane is already ready to go in the second phase, and Thor has almost 7 bars left. It's not a huge difference, but considering that she's using weaker passives, he has an extra 23% increase to damage to super villains. Right? I mean, and there's always variables, guys, as far as when the CTP of Rage procs, but that's pretty crazy, guys. It really does show that they are really just, they make the uniforms a little bit better. Thor's uniform is definitely better than the Herald of Galactus uniform, but it's not over the top like what it is for Jane, right? And there's always, like some people look at this and they'll be like, oh man, so they're jipping Thor. Well, yes and no. I mean, they didn't really jip him because they still gave him a really great uniform that's still much stronger, has much better survivability. You can do your heals more often. It's a much easier to play uniform on top of that. So I don't think they screwed him really in that way. But I mean, as far as like when you look at these two, you really would kind of hope that level 70 Thor would be stronger than Jane because he is the OG Thor. He is Thor. Thor isn't a mantle, it's his name, right? And it's just strange that they did that, but at the same time, guys, it's a really good thing because Jane Foster's a free-to-play character that everybody can level up just like Thor, and she's a human, right? Thor's an alien. There's going to be certain restrictions where you can actually use her instead of Thor. I mean, she proved to be very, very valuable in those high levels against Mephisto especially, so I don't think they really screwed him. It's just it is kind of off-putting when you see something like this. Now, let me show you what he can do at level 80, guys. Now, remember, Jane got it done by 8 minutes and 33 seconds, right? 1 minute and 27 seconds to do the first phase. Now at level 80, and I didn't level up his first gear, nothing like that. What's he going to do, right? Just taking him to level 80, what is the difference going to be, right? The time to beat is 1 minute and 33 that Jane actually did. I'm going to run around here. Come on, buddy. Nice, nice, nice. I mean, them bars go flying off. I mean, obviously, when you take a character to level 80, this is where their real relevance lies. This is where their real strength lies. You just see an insane difference in the damage whenever you take these characters to level 80, especially in World Boss Legend, right? But even against Dormammu, you do see a damage difference, guys. I mean, this is look at that. He's doing way more damage than he did a little bit ago. And remember, when you take a character to level 80, their energy attack goes up, right? They gain a lot more stats just by going to that level 80. And I didn't level up his first gear either. If I did, he would do even more damage, right? All I did was take him to level 80, and that's it. I stopped at that because I just wanted to see the difference between level 80 and level 70. And look at those bars flying off, guys. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll just do a little bit more. And look at that, 839. So Jane at level 70 did almost as much damage as Thor, even though he's got White Fox as a support. Think about that. Think about that, guys. Right? She is stronger than him. Yeah, he's stronger now because he's got a better support, and he's going to be stronger in World Boss Legend because he has that level 80 available to him. World Boss Legends really where you really see the difference. The problem with doing a comparison between these two characters is, yeah, they're both universal, but one's a female, one's a male. One's an alien, one's a human. So all the restrictions that are in World Boss Legend, I just couldn't find a really good one to really compare both of them because you need to be at a higher level to do a fair comparison. Level stage 9 with an account that's 22% Pierce, it just isn't good at all, guys. Like whenever you're doing those kind of comparisons, both of these characters are just going to melt those lower levels. Whenever you have 22% Pierce, they're just going to absolutely destroy it, and you really won't get a good gauge as far as the damage difference between them. But at least against Dormammu, I can actually face them against each other, give them some optimal teams both ways to see what the damage comparisons would be with them. And yeah, and it does kind of discourage you a little bit to see that a level 80 Thor against Dormammu is just barely doing a little bit more damage than Jane. But again, I just took him to level 80. I didn't level up his gears, which, if I did, he would do even more damage because the first gear does give him energy attack, right? It would make a difference, guys. It would make a big difference. But if she had her artifact, she would have done more damage too, right? If she had the leadership tag, she would have been smoking him even more so, guys. So, it's one of those things where it's like, wow. So, yeah, I think a lot of players should probably look at this, considering both these characters are free to play. They might be like, you know what, I'm just going to go for Jane instead just because. But Thor's popularity, obviously, he is way more popular than Jane. I guess you could make an argument now because now there's the movie out, but Thor's the OG, right? So I think a lot of players would still just go for Thor anyways. And honestly, whenever you get to really, really high levels of Ultron, stage 40 plus, stage 65 plus of Mephisto and Null, you're going to find that you're going to need an alien where Jane can't even be used, right? Because she's a human. So he's still a really worthy investment. Funny I said worthy, no pun intended there. But yeah. And guys, I know this is without any, help, any sports. It does make Dormammu a lot easier, right? But this is with a CTP of Rage. He would do a lot better, I believe, with a CTP of Judgment. By the way, just to let you guys know, I was able to do stage 40 Ultron using a CTP of Rage on Thor just at level 80. I was able to get the clear, which was pretty damn awesome. It wasn't really too difficult. It only took me a couple tries. Not bad at all. But Thor still gets it done, guys. This isn't one of those videos to really kind of to crap on either character because both of them are amazing. I do think that Jane, though, as far as just a character that just got, insane upgrade because she came from total crap, I do feel like she got the better treatment, right? I do feel like the level 80, the tier 4 is the big thing for Thor, especially after seeing all of this. That's really where it is. And I think this is what we can expect from our future characters as well. Like whenever we get the update for Hulk or for She-Hulk, her show, I'm almost betting that they might do the same thing where they make She-Hulk stronger than base Hulk. And then when he goes to level 80, then maybe he'll be stronger, right? Which is weird to say. And it's honestly weird in this situation as well, because we all know that Thor's the OG and we all know that Hulk's the OG, and technically they should be stronger. They're definitely stronger in comic books, but I don't know. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. We play a video game and we just, we play with what we have and just try to have a good time and just try to enjoy all the characters. No matter who the characters are, I always want to see them get upgrades. I always want to see them be stronger. So, yeah. But this definitely shows you guys that it is all about the level 80 when it regards our characters. And so a lot of our beloved characters like Thor, like Hulk, and others in the future, this is going to be the thing that they do, is where they'll give them a uniform. It'll be a decent upgrade, but it won't be no massive, insane upgrade for the most part, because they're going to be relying mainly on that tier 4, because Netmarble wants to motivate and incentivize all of us to tier 4 these characters, right? That's their whole thing. But Thor does kind of, he plows through this, guys. He pretty much destroys it. And we're going to go ahead and stop right there. Boom, dead. And it took, about 6 minutes to do this clear. I actually exited out. Sorry, buddy, not right now. I actually exited out of that fight and just turned my Wi-Fi off and disconnected because I didn't want to do that clear because I was doing some other tests. But yeah, there's the results, guys, of Thor and Jane. So Jane is the mightier, but obviously when you take Thor to level 80, he actually becomes the mightier. So guys, let me know what you think about this comparison. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.